So I made a video called How to Glow Up in 30 Days, and after reading through hundreds of your comments, I saw the same problem coming up again and again. I always start, but I never stick with it. Some people say they lose motivation, some get overwhelmed, can't afford to keep it up, or slowly just fall back into old habits. If this sounds like you, keep watching, because you might think that you fail or you give up because you're a lazy person, but the real reason is that your goals are built on motivation. And as we know, motivation disappears very quickly. That's why every Monday you start again, and by Thursday you've already fallen off. It just feels incredibly tiring because every time you restart the next Monday, it just feels like you're starting over and over again with no progress being made. And all that this means is that your problem is not necessarily the fact that you have no discipline, it is a systems problem. And systems are put in place not to stop you from falling, but for the times that you do fall, you know how to get back up again. Because the problem is not when you miss one workout, the problem is when you don't know what to do next. So my promise to you is by the end of this video, you'll have a glow up system that you can actually use to keep up with your long-term goals, and not just one that helps you last until next Monday. So I've titled and categorized these chapters as the most common types of reasons people tend to give up on their goals. Number one, you rely on motivation. How great is it when you get the right amount of motivation at the right place at the right time? It's Sunday night and you feel this urge to start your Monday fresh. You clean your room, you order your supplements, you watch self-improvement videos, and you get a gym membership. All in one night, may I add. This Monday is going to be different. No, guys, this Monday, trust me, this Monday is going to be different. You tell yourself. And it is, but then Wednesday creeps up. And on Wednesday, you're tired, it's been raining all day, you've had a stressful last few hours at work, you've come home, you're hungry, you're cold, and suddenly we no longer identify with that person from Sunday. They no longer feel achievable to us. The problem is that motivation is driven by emotion, and you cannot depend on emotion for a long-term goal, because emotions can change like the weather, especially here in the UK. For example, you wouldn't trust your emotions to decide whether you like someone every morning. That's not even a thing. You just know that you do, and you trust that decision you made. Why would you trust and depend on your emotions with the goal that takes up to 6 months to achieve, for example? If your glow up only exists on the days that you feel inspired, it was never built to last. It's how often you do things unmotivated that shows how likely you are to achieve those goals. Maybe count those times. Some people love a streak and love to see a number that reflects the consistency that they went through, even through difficulty and discomfort. Other than streaks, what works for me is updating family, journaling about it. Even if posting on social media helps you in any way, so be it. Do what works for you. Don't care about people's opinions. On top of that, though, I just want to mention that we're constantly surrounded by instant gratification, dopamine from our phone, social media, video games. TikTok gives instant reward, Netflix plays a movie instantly, Amazon delivers the next day. Waiting for something good has become so rare, and unfortunately a glow up doesn't work like that. Like, you can go to the gym for 2 weeks straight and barely notice the difference. You can drink 2 liters of water daily for 2 months and barely notice the difference. We're so spoiled in seeing instant change and result that we immediately assume the process just isn't working when it doesn't show up instantly, and that's exactly why people quit. It's easy to fall in love with the dream goal, but it'll be 10 times better if you start loving the action that brings you to it. Like, most people love the destination, they picture the holiday body, the glowing skin, the compliments, but very few people fall in love with the meal prepping, the washing the makeup brushes bit, the going for a walk even when it's chilly, getting into bed early. You need to realize that the girls that maintain their glow ups aren't obsessed with the results anymore. They're just obsessed with the process now, and it's time to become that girl. Number two, you try to change everything overnight. Yes, we've all been there. The 1 a.m. life transformation brainstorms. This is how many books I'll read per month. Waking up at 5 a.m. from tomorrow. Gym before work. Learn a new language. We all assume that reinventing yourself is productive. We think that reinventing ourselves for tomorrow will be that solution to becoming your best version of yourself. You'll finally feel proud, but planning this way, where you don't take any action in the end, is just another form of procrastination. Expecting to go from 0 to 100 is a form of procrastination, because all you're doing is trying to escape the guilt of having spent a lazy and unproductive day earlier. Meanwhile, planning it buys you short-term satisfaction, it buys you hope, but not sticking to your words the next day, it destroys your self-worth, your confidence, your self-trust. But the reason it feels so good and the reason we so often keep doing it is because of that dopamine rush of you imagining your better life. You haven't earned it yet, but your brain already feels productive just imagining it. So I'm here to tell you that your future self does not need another perfect plan. Okay, how much more can we plan until we actually take the steps towards it? Stop wasting time planning. It's like the same as when people say stop consuming and start creating, right? Stop planning and start doing. It's the same case. So something I'd recommend where to begin is to choose one small thing that you can start doing that will make a meaningful difference to your life. Maybe something not so big and not so expensive or time consuming, but something small that will make that difference. Start with that one thing. Instead of cleaning your whole flat or house, start by cleaning one room. Instead of going to the gym to do a full body workout, focus on one area for now. Instead of trying to learn a whole new language, find a movie in that language and start watching it. Baby steps are a real thing that works, and sometimes less is more. Number 3, the habits that you've set for yourself are too expensive for your current means, and that's why you quit. You can't afford to keep up with the lifestyle that you want to have as of now. Here's your first tip, your rule of thumb. Avoid anything that is heavily marketed, that sounds too good to be true, or that is trending. There are ways to have a low maintenance glow up, which I do cover in my 30-day glow up video. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money, definitely give that a watch. There are options of doing your hair different, your nails different, that don't require expensive upkeep. For example, if you like to bleach your hair like me, choose a reference picture that blends the root with the lighter color in a softer way so that you don't have to go every 3 months. That kind of money adds up over time and you might end up spending £1,000 per year, if not more. Or for nails, maybe choose a more neutral color so grow out and chip nails aren't as obvious as a red polish. Or like I always like to say, it doesn't hurt to learn to do your own nails at home if you want that look. And obviously same with hair, but it's just a lot harder because you don't see the back of your head. It's also okay to save the more expensive and experimental treatments for special occasions like birthdays, holidays, milestones, professional photo shoots. Those influencers that you watch and get influenced by, who go on laser treatments, who go on Botox filler treatments every Tuesday. Firstly, they're getting that for free. They're being paid to shoot the content, or it's like a collaboration deal, a partnership. So that's one. Another thing doesn't mean that it's actually effective or that it will suit you or that it's good for you. Everyone's face shape, everyone's structure is so different that just because you copy someone that you want to look like doesn't mean it will look good on you. You can choose to spend that much money, but if you can't afford it easily, that's another problem you're going to have to deal with, paying debt over time, Klarna, hello, blah, blah, blah. Financial stress not for the weak, and you're just going to end up getting wrinkles from that stress of having to pay the debt of your Botox that is there to cover up the wrinkles that is there because of the stress to have to pay the Botox. It's a cycle. The best glow up is the one that you can afford this year, that you can afford next year, and the year after that. But if you are going to spend your hard-earned money on something worthwhile, I would always encourage you to spend it on your health. Invest in your health, you guys. Supplements and nutrients you're deficient in, an average gym subscription, and maybe even healthier and organic grocery options. Number 4, you don't have a reset plan. Everyone knows life is unpredictable. Last minute things can hit you out of nowhere. And so the worst thing that you can do is expect for everything to go smoothly at all times. Missing one thing is not the problem, it's having no plan afterwards. And by the way, the worst thing that you can do is punish yourself if you've skipped a workout or eaten unhealthily or missed your nighttime skincare routine, because number 1, what good are you doing? Like, how is that being productive? How is that taking the next step forward? It's just you remaining there. And 2, if you trust yourself to get your shit back together, what's the point of that punishment? You're already self-aware that you've messed up. We just need to get back on track. So here's what I would do. First of all, identify the cause. What caused you to steer away from the plan? Was it something unusual? That's the big question. Was it genuinely just a one-off? Did you get food poisoning last minute? Did you get sick last minute? Was work unusually hectic? If that's the case, stop overthinking it immediately. You are simply wasting your time. There is no need to redesign your plan, your routine, because of an unusual day or week. But if it's something that keeps happening and you've noticed a pattern, like you're always tired after work so you never end up going to the gym, or you always come home late so you end up just ordering out, then focus on fixing the reason behind it. And then also ask yourself, can I make this easier for myself? There's always a workaround. Your routine is not etched in stone. The best part about routines is that they're flexible. Like if you're too tired to cook after work, maybe the solution isn't trying harder. Maybe it's meal prepping on Sunday. If you keep, I don't know, skipping the gym because it's too far away, maybe you need a bit of a worse gym, but one that is closer to work or to where you live. Or if you never do your skincare because you're just too tired before bed, then maybe simplify your routine, right? Instead of having 10 different products. And please never just rely on having more motivation next week or more willpower next week. Change your immediate surroundings instead, okay? Trust me on this one. Also, don't bother compensating for the things that you missed. It's just not gonna make that big of a difference, and it's gonna make it so much more overwhelming to get back on it. It's simple, really. It's the quicker you get back on track, the better. Give yourself a 24-hour window to get back on track. Instead of saying next Monday or next month or next year, wouldn't be surprised. Just stick to tomorrow. Stop postponing, stop self-sabotaging and pushing your goals further away. Number 5, you never plan for low energy days. Okay, don't act like you're AI. We have low energy days. We're human. This is the beauty and curse of being human. When you plan your routine, don't do this rookie mistake where you plan it for the version of yourself with unlimited energy, infinite motivation. Plan it for the version of yourself that has had a stressful day at work, slept badly, and just wants to lie on the sofa. Okay, leave room in your schedule for those kinds of days too, because that is the reality. Those days are bound to happen. You're not a robot. Your routine shouldn't require 100% effort every day. One small thing that you can actually do and prepare that's changed everything for me personally is to have a minimum version of every habit that you've planned. For example, if you normally have 1-hour gym sessions, your minimum version can be a 20-minute treadmill walk with a podcast you love. If you normally aim to read 20 pages, read 2. The goal isn't to build a perfect routine. The goal is to build a routine that you're likely to stick to, even on your hardest, busiest, most tired days of the year. So do your best to keep the momentum going. The worst that you can actually do is just completely stop. But even if that happens, then you have your reset plan, your reset routine to bounce back from. But ideally, you don't even have to do that because you have your minimum versions. Number 6, you measure perfection instead of consistency. Basically, the more that you aim for perfection and the more perfect that you expect your routine to be, the more fragile it becomes. One missed workout or one late night makes you feel like a failure, which is not in your favor, because the more down you feel, the less likely you are to keep putting yourself through that feeling. You can become overwhelmed because you start feeling like everything you're doing is not enough. The thing about perfection is that it creates this toxic all or nothing mindset, because perfectionism is the fear of failure if you think about it. For some people, yes, it pushes you harder. It makes you try to achieve the almost perfect result. It's like if you aim for the stars, if you aim for the moon, you can land on the stars. But for a majority of people, if you aim for perfection, it will hold you back because you are afraid to have this imperfect version. Trust me, it's actually in your favor to accept imperfect performance from time to time, because that is what keeps you going. What takes you far and what keeps you going is not perfection. It is being consistent. It's doing the same imperfect action over and over again. Even if you're 60% consistent in your week, that is already such a success. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see your better versions next time.